One. Welcome back to the Soul Dojo Gaming Channel, and welcome back to Dear Video Games. Is this your first time coming to the Soul Dojo? Welcome, I guess I should
Welcome
say.
for the first time then. Yeah.
Welcome. My name is Curtis Russell. I am a senior editor at Sports Gamers Online, and I am also a just overall video game creator here. Video game content creator.
Video
Not,
game
I don't,
creator.
not video
Oh,
game creator.
wow.
No, not video game creator. I don't know anything about game design at all. I'm not as talented as some of the people we're going to be talking about today. But I'm a overall video game content creator here on the Soul Dojo, and of course, I am joined by a video game enthusiast and awesome, dope Bay Area rapper, Voltaire Slapadelic. What's going on?
Oh, that's me. Hey, hey. Doing good.
Doing good,
Doing
man.
good.
Before...
Yeah, your resume seems to get a little more impressive every time.
I work on it before I come on the show.
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
would mention the fact that we started a football podcast, and I am officially a football podcast.
There you
now,
go.
But
There you go.
I'll say that to the end. So officially, I'm trying to get into the holiday spirit. Of course, I was telling you before we got on the stream here. I got my eggnog right here. The sweaters are still behind that door. They're gonna stay behind that door until December 1st, because I was just like, that's just too much. But I do have my bit of eggnog. There isn't any alcoholic beverage that has been added to this eggnog. Okay. Now, if halfway through the stream I just says Starfield sucks out of nowhere, I swear it isn't because I've gotten
yeah, we'll know.
off of this. Yeah,
we'll know. Yeah.
So, but how you been? How you been, man?
Been good. Been real good. November's always kind of a hectic month for me, like in a positive way. My birthday a couple of weeks ago, and then Thanksgiving, and saw George Clinton and Parliament Punkadelic on Saturday, and that's
so
really
cool,
great. And so, just kind of been just chilling out since then. Honestly, been kind of recovering the past couple of days.
Well, hopefully your recovery's going well. Happy birthday again once again. Let's jump into what have we been playing. But of course, before we even get into that, you're playing Super Mario 64 behind your TV. I love that setup. I love that whole setup you got. You got the antennas coming out of the old TV. You got the N64
I love
controller. It's so cool. Is that
this
Mario
is we
game?
found the stand and the TV like maybe a month or so ago, and I was like, I need this. I was like, I absolutely need this.
What is that at the bottom? Is that just is that a hole, or is...
This is the Wii.
That's the
sensor
Wii
bar.
thing. Yeah, that's the Wii sensor bar. I was like,
I do
I've
have a
seen
Wii.
that.
I do have a Wii hooked up down here. It's too small of a TV to like. I can still do it, but you're kind of doing like that. But it's great for GameCube games.
I recognize that. I was like, that isn't what I think it is.
That's so funny. You're like, I know what that is.
Yeah. I was like, that. I know what that is, but what is
That's
it for?
so hilarious.
Yeah, it's the way. I haven't seen that thing in years. I haven't seen that
memory unlocking.
Yo,
yeah, I don't have a GameCube, so I keep my Wii around to play mostly GameCube games.
Even though you have a GameCube controller.
A GameCube controller, yeah. I just don't have the actual console.
Yeah, I actually have a GameCube controller, but it's for when you hook up, to
Smash?
the Switch. Yeah, when you hook it up to the Switch. So I have one for that, of course. I would love to get a GameCube, honestly. Like,
yeah,
no,
it'd be great to find one. I'm always looking out for one.
Oh yeah, totally. So let's jump into what have we been playing. So I'll actually go first, because I feel like sometimes I'll let you go first a lot, but I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. Finished Spider-Man.
Nice.
Loved it. It deserves to be a Game of the Year nominee solely off of the story. It's so good. There were a few lines of dialogue, especially towards the end. I was just like, oh my God, my heartstrings. It was just it was a really, really good ending to the story, and I cannot wait for the third one. Cannot wait to see what they do, not just with the third one, but in between, if they have like an in-between game for Miles or anything like that. Don't want to get into spoilers. I don't know if he finished it yet.
I'm just now really diving into the story. I was kind of messing around with doing open world stuff and leveling up, but yeah, I just got to where maybe a mission or two past Peter getting the Venom power. So I'm about halfway through the game, it feels like.
Yeah. And also it's not a super long game.
Yeah, they're not super long games.
Yeah. Um, you're definitely, yeah, you're about right. You're about halfway through. Um, I'm now going to officially jump into my Nintendo games. I'm gonna finish Legend of Zelda. I'm going to end up playing Mario Wonder because I'm gonna stop coming up. I feel like I let you down every time I tell you I haven't played it yet, and you're just like, you gotta
Yeah,
play it. You gotta play it. You're gonna
yeah.
love it. And
I
I'm
just
definitely
look
gonna do
off and
it.
then I just a
Yeah.
single tear comes down. You know.
So you do what? You
Na, na, na.
He's like, what, you still haven't played it? No, I haven't. It looks so fun. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It looks so fun. It
It's a
looks
great
so
game.
good. And then of course I still have to play Sonic Superstars, which I've been telling myself I need to
Yeah,
I need to play. I need to play. I need to
I
play.
keep forgetting that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, it got
Funny, yeah.
it's Spider-Man
They
and
kind of
all these
shadow
other games.
dropped it. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I what have I been playing lately? Mostly like I said, Spider-Man 2. Actually played um and finished up with Mario Wonder. Actually got Red Dead Redemption on Switch because it was on sale, and was playing a bit of that. And it's just a straight port. It's
Mhm.
nothing
Mhm.
too crazy, but it's kind of fun to have it, and it's very nostalgic for me. I'm gonna
We
try to
did
get
that. We did the first impressions of that on the channel, but you were very right. It's
mhm.
very much just a straight port.
Yeah. It's nothing like super crazy about it. It's just kind of cool to be able to play it in handheld, in like on like a handheld console. To
How do
be
you feel
honest,
it looks
but
like? How do you feel? How do you think it looks on just portable?
I think it looks fine. I think you have to accept that you're playing a Xbox 360 game. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I think the Switch can do better graphics than that, but I think it looks for what it is. It looks good. It's better than I think trying to do like whatever AI upscaling they did with the Grand Theft Auto stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
That people hated. But yeah, I've been wanting to get Mario RPG, but I want to buy it physically, so I haven't done that yet.
I tend to tell myself I want to buy this game physically. I want to buy this game physically, and I end up just downloading it.
I know. I've been trying to resist the urge because I own most of the Mario games on Switch physically. I'm
Mm.
trying to think if there's one that
You got
did I
Mario
down.
Wonder physically?
Damn it! Did I download that one? Maybe I downloaded that one,
That's what I'm like, really?
but
Huh?
maybe I downloaded that one. Who's to say?
you,
Honestly,
you.
there's
Okay.
no way of knowing at this point.
Yeah. I can't even remember the last game I bought physically. It had to have been. I bet you it was a Switch game. I bet you it was a Switch game. If I go over there and look, I'm pretty sure it was a Switch game. But I haven't. Every game at this point, I'm downloading. It's just
Yeah,
so easy, so simple.
I
It's just
like to have
yeah.
them. I like to own the CD or the cartridge. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I really
Yeah.
like looking at the box art. It looks nice on the shelf behind the TV and all that. But yeah, I end up just being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a GameStop within like walking distance of my house, but I'm still. It's just like whatever. Then half the time I go down there, they're sold out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to get stuck in line behind some guy. Yelling at the GameStop employee that they're sold out of like Madden or whatever. It's like, dude,
Just
you know
go
what
to
I mean?
another
That's what
one. They'll
happens.
have it. Like, come
Yeah.
on, dude.
Yeah, that's what happens every time.
A lot of times, a lot of games are just coming out for download too. Just
Yeah.
coming out just to download it. You purchase it, you download it, and then the physical edition comes out
Hmm.
like 3 months later. It's like I want to play the
Yeah.
game now, so I'm not gonna go through all that.
Hmm.
I'm not
Or the
gonna.
physical at this point is more of just a collector's thing, Like they'll
Yeah.
they'll make like a limited run of it, and then because 90% of people are gonna download it anyway.
Mhm.
I don't know if there even is like a physical copy of like Red Dead or like Metroid Prime on Switch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe there is,
Right.
but I don't know.
A good example of it is and I do understand to a certain extent, or to a large extent of this company, Thunderful, that did Curse to Golf. So Curse to Golf came out just for download, PC, stuff like that, and
Hmm.
they went to Switch and it did like a limited run of physical copies. So it's like this is an independent company, like funding all of this. So they probably just had enough
Hmm.
just for a little bit of a little run there for people to grab a physical copy of it. Um, I think in 2024 that will be my New Year's resolution. I'll try to actually buy more games. And also,
Yeah.
like, you can, if it's a brand new game, you can play it at like 11 o'clock at night instead of like
Mm-hmm.
having to wait till GameStop is open or hope that
Having
they're
to wait.
doing
Yeah.
a midnight release, which you got to go
They
up
do
there.
that too. In PlayStation will sometimes be like you can play it at 6 p.m., you know?
That's
Because
crazy.
I'm on like the West Coast or whatever. So it's like it's like 10 p.m. New York time.
Yeah.
So it's like 7 or whatever for me. You know what I mean? And so that's what happened like not with every game. Sometimes they make you wait until like 8 in the morning of the day of or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. But it was either I think God of War or something one of them let me play it like almost like the entire day early and I was like yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like I was getting away with something.
I always tell people this story right here. It's I think I told it on Sports Gamers Online on the SGO Press Pass one time, and it was the same day that Call of Duty came out, and I believe it was a Call of Duty game. It might have been something else, but I believe it was a Call of Duty game, and they had a midnight release, and there was two games, Call of Duty and Tomb Raider, the reboot. I was in there to get Tomb Raider. I was the
Yeah.
I was the only person. Well, me and another person were in there to get Tomb Raider, and they were raffling off the Tomb Raider like cardboard statue that they had, and
Oh, okay.
it's between me and one dude. It's 50-50.
Who gets the cardboard Laura Croft guitar?
Do you see a cardboard Lara Croft over there?
I was looking around.
Do you see it,
I was looking.
Voltaire? I don't have
I
it.
wish I did.
I was like, oh my God. And the dude didn't even care. He was like, oh.
All right.
And, he's like on the phone. He's like, oh, I just came here to pick up this game for my sister. Like, she wants to play stupid Tomb Raider. I'm like, just give it to me, yo. What the hell?
Come on, man.
And I was
Yeah.
excited to play the new Tomb Raider. It was just so funny because, like, in GameStop, they're like, all right, everybody for Call of Duty on the left, everybody for Tomb Raider on the
Yeah.
right. And it's like, everybody moved to the left. And I'm just
That's
like,
great.
all right, my dumb ass is here. I love that game, by the way. A really good Tomb Raider game. Love that game. The progression of it's really well. The games after that, Lara Croft, I don't know what happened to her personality in the second game, and I think there was a third one. She just was as dry as, I don't know, hot dog water.
Yeah.
Shit, that's how dry as, I don't know. She was boring. All right, let's jump into our next segment, which is gaming in December. We haven't done this, a gaming in said month. We haven't done this in a while here on Dear Video Games,
Yeah.
and I'm really excited to talk about the upcoming games. The first game we're gonna talk about, I'm actually excited for this because, and I don't know if you might end up getting this, Walter. You might be the one to actually get this. I'm gonna try to get it. Is the Batman Arkham trilogy coming to Switch December 1st?
Yeah. I never really played these games for whatever reason. I just kind of missed out on them. Like I remember kind of watching a couple of my friends play one of them. I think the second one, first or second one, back in the day. And I played Arkham City a bit, but it was on like early PS Now or like PlayStation like cloud streaming thing, and so it didn't play super well. So I kind of was like, I don't know, this game's whatever, you know what I mean? But looking back on it, it was definitely the streaming service more than it was the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely want to give those games like a fair shot, to be honest. But yeah, it's just you have to kind of be careful with Switch ports because some people just don't know how to make a game for the Switch, I guess. And sometimes the ports are awful. They're real bad and they want you to pay like $50-$60 for them, you know?
I was just about to ask you, how much do you think this port is?
I was going to guess $50.
Yeah, I would probably guess
For
$50 also.
Had they not said?
Let me check. I can fact check that right now. So
I don't know why my voice cracked just then. It sounded like I'm going like I'm 14. Who's Batman?
Batman, did they check? Did you check? I keep typing on the wrong. I have my laptop right here, and I keep typing on the wrong thing. Okay.
I mean, it is 3 games.
You want to guess?
Huh? My guess is $50.
It's $60.
Yeah. See, it's like I guess the argument is that it's 3 games, so I guess it's not that crazy of a thing.
Yeah, 3 games that are all 10 years old.
Yeah, you know. It is kind of funny.
Amazing
I mean,
trilogy, by the way. A really good
yeah,
trilogy.
it's not like they're bad games. People really like them, and it's
Hmm.
cool that the Switch is getting all of these ports.
Yeah.
They don't really do like the virtual console like they used to, which honestly sucks. But in lieu of that, it is nice that we're getting all of these ports.
Hmm.
Because game preservation and yada yada and etc. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. No, totally. I might. You know what? I might do that, and I might do a first impressions on it, just because we're kind of in like the more slow months for our first impressions. So I might just grab it just to try it out on Switch.
Hmm.
And I love these games. These games are kind of what the Spider-Man games kind of built their combat on, and
Yeah,
these games do it perfectly. Uh,
it's true. Yeah, I do think that the third party kind of like Switch tax is like sort of real, but I don't really understand why because it's not. It, I don't know. I guess they blame it on the cartridges being expensive, but most of those games don't come out physically anyway. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like Rockstar tripping real bad, thinking people are gonna pay $50 for the first Red Dead Redemption. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, come
Hmm.
on. Like, I got it because it was on pretty deep sale for Black Friday. Like, and it's to a lesser extent, it's the same sort of kind of like I guess hubris here
Yeah.
to charge $60 for these older games. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, and it's Nintendo gets away with it all the time. I mean, there's so many games that it's still selling for sticker price right when it comes out,
Mm-hmm.
or it's like games that are
Nintendo
super
games
old.
never go on sale.
Never, never. So I don't know, and nobody calls it. People do call
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo out for it, but it's like at the end of the day, Nintendo's like, but we're
Yeah.
Nintendo though. Like you're gonna buy it
Yeah.
anyway. Get Splatoon the first one for
I got
$60, or you're not gonna have it at all. How about that?
I got I got an email, like an automated email from Nintendo on my birthday one year that
Yeah.
was like, it said click here for a birthday discount, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, like a birthday coupon or whatever, and it was it was 10% off of like some Mario Party game on the Wii U. It's like, what is?
What?
Come on, Nintendo,
Do better, Jesus.
come on.
Do better. Like what? That is
Not to be
ridiculous.
ungrateful, but this is literally useless to me.
No, it really is like literally like useless. It's ridiculous. Um okay, following it, right behind the Batman trilogy is going to be Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince. I try to keep up with the Dragon Quest games. There's too many sub
Hmm.
like series in this
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
series.
Which one is this one?
Uh,
Is this one like a Pokemon thing or something?
yeah, that's exactly it. It's the Pokemon
Oh,
type
okay.
one. I
I think I
played.
remember seeing a trailer for this at like a
Yeah,
direct or something. Yeah.
yeah, that's probably about right. I mean, if you like Pokemon type stuff, the type of combat that it is, the turn-based combat it is. I mean, I can see people really enjoying this. I like the Dragon Quest Builders series. The
Hmm.
last game that came out, I got it on Switch, and I actually was really surprised that I think you might be able to find a video on it here on the Soul Dojo. Just type in either my name and Dragon Quest Builders and whatever, or the Soul Dojo Dragon Quest Builders. And I think I did a first impressions on it, but I really like it. I actually like that. Um, we'll see. I'm not.
Those are generally pretty good games. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
think I like that the when other I like when companies try to take a crack at the Pokemon style of gameplay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
totally.
like Pokemon games, but I feel like oftentimes they sort of they have these like issues, like technical issues and stuff like that. And the
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon company kind of makes too many games and not so then they can't really polish any one in particular,
Yeah.
But I do think that one series of games that nails the kind of Pokemon style, or one game that nails it, is Persona 5. If you really like a
Mm-hmm.
sort of more kind of like M-rated take on Pokemon, Persona is essentially that. At least 5
Persona
is.
5 is an
Yeah.
amazing game. I can't wait for the sixth one. I mean,
Hmm.
it's so good. I mean, Atlas is milking the hell out of Persona 5 at
They're
this point.
crazy. It's so funny. They're
It's
doing
so
like a
ridiculous.
rhythm dance game or whatever
Yeah.
next.
And I'm not trying to be funny, but the people who probably are so into Persona 5 probably love everything they're doing, like that type of style of game.
Oh, they do. They definitely do. I definitely know someone.
Yeah, right. I love Persona 5 at the
Oh
regular
yeah.
game. It's
I don't.
great.
Yeah, I
It's
don't blame them
amazing.
at all.
Yeah. It's great. You can probably help me because I'm a little confused on this, but December 5th, Disney Dreamlight Valley. I thought that came out like last year. So
Yeah, wait. Isn't that the Animal Crossing kind of rip off that Disney did?
I think so. Yeah.
Right?
Was it an early access only or?
Maybe. I guess.
Uh,
Weird.
I thought that was when I saw this I thought that was really weird. I thought that was really weird when I saw that. So I don't really know what that's about.
Hmm.
But
Maybe it's just coming to Switch.
it says PlayStation 5, Xbox. It says basically
Huh.
everything. So maybe I don't know. Maybe it was in an early access kind
Yeah.
of state.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So there's two other games that are coming. There's a few games, but of course we're gonna talk about the games that kind of are cool. Skater XL comes out December 5th. I don't know if you've heard of this one.
I have not.
This is a Steam game, Steam kind of skate game. It's actually pretty good. It's really dope. It reminds me a lot of like the actual skate games.
Okay.
But it's coming to Switch, which is cool. Maybe get it a shot. Sonic Dream Team. I'm not getting this because it's on phone, and I hate phone games. So Sonic Dream
Yeah.
Team for iOS. If you're into it, I guess
I'm
spend a lot of money.
not big on phone games either. Uh, you know.
I'm definitely not. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song is coming to Switch. Vampire Masquerade, is that we're still waiting for the official sequel of that. So I
Yeah, I
know
think
this is kind of
so,
like a
yeah.
this is like a mid game. I'm probably not gonna get
The
that.
way that they title their games is very difficult to tell, like which direction the series chronologically goes. You know,
Very
I'm not
true.
super familiar with them. I know people really like them.
Yeah.
It's just one of those ones that I never really have played. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. No, 100%. I know the original, and I heard the original is really good, and I played a little bit of it, and I could tell back then what people really liked about it because it's a very outdated game. But I'll
Hmm.
play the official sequel definitely.
Yeah.
Next on December 7th, we have probably the biggest game to come out in December. I would love to get your take on this game because we actually haven't talked about this game a lot. Um, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora
Oh
by
yeah, I keep
Ubisoft.
forgetting that game is.
A
Uh,
thing. So
is Avatar a thing? Like, do you care about Avatar?
I've never watched Avatar in my life.
James Cameron wants so badly for Avatar to be a thing, and I'm just like, I don't know if it's a thing, to be honest.
I think I know a lot of people that watched the first movie. There's a second one, but
I remember the first movie. I remember liking it in theaters and being less impressed when I watched it on DVD a few months later.
mm,
But it's not like I don't think it's bad. I just
mm.
don't really. I just think. I just think it's weird when 12 years later or 14 years later or however long it is, they're like, oh yeah, now we're gonna do like 4 sequels and a video game.
And a
And I'm
video
like, I
game.
guess, and like a theme park or whatever.
uh, Ubisoft has some big games coming out here soon. They have this game, and then they have the Star Wars Outlaws game coming out. That's next year. This to me, if these two games go really well, I think it's gonna be big for Ubisoft because they've been kind of messing up a lot recently. They got
Yeah.
a lot of things going on at the studios.
Hmm.
The main guy, yes, Guillemot, is like being investigated for a lot of terrible
He's
things.
just super weird, creepy,
Yeah, he's just a weird,
creepy
creepy
weirdo.
French guy.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, Peppy the Pew looking.
so, and then of course, like everybody, I'm sorry, but unless I'm tripping, Voltaire, not many people are talking about the new Assassin's Creed game. So they kind of need a
No.
big dub.
Yeah. People like, it gets harder to be excited for something when everything you hear about that company or the people behind the work, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
just is so negative. You know what I mean? And uh yeah, and I just think that kind of what it boils down to. I was going on like I had more to say, but that's you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, everything I hear is like, here's Yves Chameau, this is like this super freaking creepy weirdo, and there's like this culture of abuse and shit, and then even on top of that, they can't even. the games aren't even that good because even if all that wasn't happening, people are really tired of all of their sort of
Yeah,
shenanigans when it
yeah.
just comes to trying to nickel and dime people during the games and just the whole thing with the ad for Assassin's Creed popping up in the last Assassin's Creed, and it's like, oh, we did that on accident. It's like you did not
You did not.
do that on accident. Come on.
uh,
No, we didn't mean to. It's like I think you did.
I mean, Star Wars Outlaws. It actually looks good. That game looks
It
good.
does. Yeah.
Yeah,
When did I see a trailer for that?
that was maybe this
I don't
summer.
remember. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, was it E3 or not E3? It couldn't have been E3. That doesn't
No,
exist
no, not
anymore.
E3.
That was
Maybe Summer Games Fest.
That's probably what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what
yeah.
it was.
I think it was
Yeah.
Summer Games Fest. That was
Yeah.
that is, and it looked genuinely good. Now, of course, I'm gonna have to say the big elephant in the room. Um, if this is just super Ubisofty, like if it's
Mhm.
the Ubisoft open world formula and it's the same as like Far Cry 4 and it's just the same, more the same from
Yeah.
them, this is not going to be an experience that I really want to experience. We've talked about
Yeah.
Starfield and how that experience is the same to Fallout, and it's just you're just getting dried out of that particular experience. I would
Mhm.
like something different, and I'm hoping this game is different. I'm hoping
And I'd
Avatar.
be curious to see if it's like that with Avatar and,
Exactly.
because if Avatar comes out and it's just Far Cry or Assassin's Creed, but
In
everyone's
Pandora,
blue or
blue,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
half
everyone's just
naked.
fucking yeah. If it's just Blue Cry or whatever, you know what I mean? Then we'll probably know.
Yeah.
But that's what the Star Wars game is going to be like. You know what I mean? Just
Hmm.
go to whatever tower, and then you sneak up on
Enemy.
you know, yeah, you call in a tauntaun to kill an enemy or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, you go to this tower, you unlock the
yeah,
tower, it gives you all
mhm,
these points of interest, and you just start doing that besides doing the main
yeah,
story, because the main story is about people
hmm
inhabiting Pandora. Whatever the hell James Cameron stuff is about. I don't know.
yeah,
But same thing, the same thing is for the Outlaws game, the Star Wars game. It's like EA has done, besides towards the later end of the license, EA has done a bad job with the Star Wars license. Now it's like
yeah,
other people are grabbing, or other developers and other
hmm
companies are grabbing this license. So
yeah.
this is the first game in a very long time that's gonna be a Star Wars game, and hopefully,
That's not EA.
yeah, that's not EA. So it's like, please just make a good game, something a little bit
hmm
unique. You know,
hmm
I do like the Jedi Survivor and the Jedi Fallen Order games. Those
Yeah,
did something different. But the Outlaw game looks good. It looks good. This
yeah,
game does look fun. I've seen the trailer for it. It seems like it is pretty ambitious. And Pandora does look like a really good open world video game setting. But
hmm
ultimately, just don't be super Ubisoft. That would be
yeah. I mean, the movies
dumb.
look like video games already, so I guess
That's true.
it's
That's true.
fine.
That's
Yeah,
very true, actually.
yeah.
Um, the next game we're going to talk about is a game I've just heard of. It's called Lego Brick Tales. This is like a puzzle game that is coming from Thunderful. So, uh, I am a fan of Thunderful because they did Curse to Golf, of course. They get a Lego game, which I actually tried not too long ago.
Hmm.
It's a cute little puzzle game. Take your mind off of work, take your mind off of just the craziness of this world, and just play a bit of a Lego puzzle game. So it's really interesting. I really encourage you to try it out.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. What do we have here? There's like games that are like, I'm like, I won't really want to talk about that. Bear and Breakfast is coming to PlayStation 5 and PS4. You're a bear that runs a bed
Oh,
and
I saw a
breakfast.
trailer for that.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
cute game.
Yeah, I think I love ideas like that. I love
Hmm.
when people are just like, I'm gonna make a really incredibly specific game, like Goose Game and stuff like that. Or
Yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think stuff like that is great.
Mm-hmm. No, no, totally. I really do
Did
like
you ever
that.
play Goat Simulator back in the day?
I didn't play Goat Simulator, no.
Yeah, it's just dumb fun. I mean, it's obviously not the same type of thing. I just like it when people are like, I have a really specific idea for a game. I'm just gonna do that.
Is that that's just the goat that's just like running into everything, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's
just
just
like a physics
destroying things.
engine where you're a
Yeah.
goat. Yeah.
That's hilarious though. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Honestly hilarious. Yeah, Bear and Breakfast is coming out December 12th if you want to give that a go. Yeah, it's just like a little restaurant simulator game that you're kind of just you're a
Hmm.
bear running a bed and breakfast. Um SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake.
I don't
I
know what that
I
is.
don't even know what that is. I've never even THQ Nordic.
SpongeBob's got a good agent. He's been having hella games come out lately.
THQ
What does he
Nordic.
even do?
Whoa. Whoa.
It's been so many SpongeBob games ever since that they did the remaster of that one.
yeah, very true actually. Yeah. Um Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, The Hidden Treasure of Arena Zero. What in the world is going on?
Long ass DLC names. I haven't gotten any of the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. I've slowly played through it. I always play through Pokemon really slowly for the first time because I just kind of
Mhm.
try to catch all, I guess. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Gotta catch them
But
all, yeah.
I'm just yeah, I'm leveling up and I've pretty much done everything. I just haven't made my way to like the Elite Four and all that yet
Yeah.
in it. Overall, I like it. But there's definitely some issues with it. I've fallen through the floor like once. In that game. I've seen footage of people doing it all the time. So I think I'm one of the lucky ones.
I had a glitch in Spider-Man where I actually went through the floor and I was just like, it happened like 18 hours in. I was like, oh my god, whoa! I didn't know that. I didn't think the game was gonna finally break on me.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 remake is coming out December 20th for Mac and iOS
Oh, interesting.
for mobile.
Whoa. For the iPhone?
For the iPhone.
That's wild.
How does
Huh.
that work?
I don't know. I wonder if they're gonna make. Is it gonna be like Blue Zombies, like the Sony Ericsson version back in the day?
I I didn't know this right here is just so powerful because I'm looking at to be announced. Death Stranding is actually planning on being.
I did hear about that. I heard that Death Stranding's gonna come to one of the new iPhone. I
Yeah,
guess you can just attach a Bluetooth controller to it. I guess Apple
yeah,
Arcade. Is that what it is?
yeah,
It's
something like that. Um,
because like historically Macs have never really been known for playing video games. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's kind of surprising to hear stuff coming out on Mac. That's not like a turn-based thing or like an old school type of game or something. You know what I mean?
nah, very true.
Um, but then all of a sudden it's like the most demanding games you can think of, like a Death Stranding and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. And the last game we'll talk about here is a game that I think me and you just need to kind of just suck it up and just play it. Is Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out for Xbox Series X and S this month
Oh,
or in
nice,
December. Yeah.
nice.
So it's officially on all the
Finally.
consoles now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was on PlayStation. For some reason, I thought it
Mhm.
was PC exclusive.
It was
Interesting.
on PC for a while there, went through its early
Mhm.
access stage, and then it ended up going to PlayStation. Now it's officially coming to Xbox.
Okay, cool.
I kind of rewatched like a few of the
Switch port
things.
win.
Oh, that would
Hey, if
be
they
interesting.
Hello Games pulled off No Man's Sky on Switch, so anything's possible.
And so like
You
nobody's
know?
safe. You gotta all get on Switch.
Yeah, anything is possible if No Man's Sky of all games
As long as I can
apparently
like
runs
beat
pretty well on there.
Mario in Baldur's Gate, that would be sweet.
Oh yeah, you got to create Mario, or it'll be like in Skyrim when Skyrim came to the Switch and you could
Yeah.
find the Master Sword and the tunic and everything.
Yeah.
You just have like
Oh
the
yeah,
hat and the little fire flower.
And you're like being able to shoot fireballs from your hands. Um,
That'd be awesome.
I think I'm gonna officially finally give this game a try.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play it. Is it coming to Game Pass?
I don't think it's coming to Game Pass, honestly.
Okay.
That would
Then
be
maybe I'll end up
beautiful. That
getting
would
on
be
PlayStation.
beautiful. It'd be amazing if it did.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I'll give it a try. I know that it's the combat that keeps kind of turning me off from it because I don't really want to do that type of turn-based combat. But
Mhm.
the character customization, the story, everything else in the game just seems like it draws me in.
Yeah.
And some of you guys, man, hats off to the whole community making these absolutely stunningly handsome and beautiful characters. You guys are making the most attractive human or whatever they are in freaking Baldur's Gate. You're making the most attractive characters we've ever seen. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is perfect. It's like, how many hours did you spend on creating this guy?
I'm just creating the guy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, but definitely Voltaire. I think me and you both gotta give it a go.
Definitely, yeah. For whatever reason, I guess I figured it wasn't coming to consoles, but yeah, now that it is, I definitely want to pick it up. I've heard nothing but great things, you know.
And it'll be great for it to win Game of the Year, which actually goes right into let's predict our our Game Awards predictions for just about each category. Like I said before we came on, me and you both didn't get nominated for Content Creator of the Year, so obviously it's rigged.
Yeah, absolute snub right there.
Big one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about most anticipated game of the year. Voltaire, I want you to tell me, which one do you want to win? What game are you most excited for, and what game do you think is gonna win? If you could see, it, or do you want me to tell you the nominees?
Yeah, I just pulled it up here, so let's see. There's Final Fantasy VII. There's Hades, Star Wars, the Yakuza, right? And then
Like a Dragon.
Tekken. Yeah. So, I think for me, like honestly, I'm so intrigued by the Star Wars thing. You know, like I feel a little bit of Star Wars fatigue in general. Like that's kind of too much Star Wars stuff coming out, but I still care about it enough to when it's an interesting idea. It catches my attention. You know.
Yeah. Totally.
The Yakuza games have a soft spot in my heart, but I imagine the Star Wars will win this one. You know,
I've never played a Yakuza game. It's on my list.
I played Yakuza 0 and a little bit of Judgment, and they're great.
I've heard
Yakuza
nothing but good things.
Hilarious. It's not what you would think it would be. It's just like there's moments where it'll be serious and like kind of about like some real issues, or it'll be like some real gangster shit going on. But then it'll just turn at a dime and just be so over the top. And I'm just like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. Yeah.
Sounds fun, honestly. I'm actually excited for all these games. I'm not a huge fighting fan, so of course Tekken 8 I'm not super excited for, but yeah, these games I'm very excited.
I think fighting games are cool, but I'm bad at them, so I never really buy them.
Yeah,
you know,
I think we're both just equally as good at Super Smash Brothers. I think that's about as far as me and you go.
Yeah. I'm okay at Smash Brothers. That's more I can say than I can say for my ability to play any traditional fighting game.
Marvel vs. Capcom or anything like that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I'm excited for it because I love the first remake, and I know they had the Crisis Core stuff come out. I did not play it, so I bet you a billion different things done happen, and I'm probably gonna be lost jumping into it, but I'm really excited for it. Hades is your number one roguelike, amazing series, amazing game. That's exciting. Of course, Like a Dragon is great. Like you said, that Star Wars game is going to be really exciting, and Tekken 8, I'm pretty sure fighting fans are ready for that. I'm gonna go with Hades 2 winning this. I just think when I think about the people who do vote, and plus the population, the gamers are getting in there, I think a lot of people are really excited for Hades 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that this will ultimately get it. Now for me, I think Star Wars Outlaws I'm the most excited to play. It's very close to Final Fantasy because I know Final Fantasy comes out really early, and I'm like already like getting locked in on that. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to play that. So, yeah.
My most anticipated game of the year was not on the list, which is Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. So
the Thousand-Year Door.
Yeah, they're doing a remake. Yeah, they're doing a full-on, ground-up remake of it.
You know what? Switch. They are doing that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be so fun. Oh yeah.
I know. Nintendo every year. I'm like, Nintendo does too much remakes and remasters, and every year I'm like, I wish they would do more remakes and remasters.
Yeah.
It's the duality.
Yeah. Paper Mario Thousand-Year Door is one of my favorite Mario games, by the way. Amazing game.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing game. We're gonna
the absolute peak of that series.
Yeah, totally, yeah. We're gonna skip best adaptation because if the Sonic movie isn't in it, I don't really care. No, I'm playing. Best multiplayer game. Um, Mario Wonder's in it.
Oh, Mario Wonder's a multiplayer game. I think it counts. I hope it wins. That'd be such a wild card.
Yeah, I hope it wins. It's
I
funny.
think.
It's funny to see Mario Wonder in the same category as Diablo. I don't
Yeah.
know why. It's just the
Uh,
games are completely opposite of each other. Like
mhm.
it's just
I didn't know that
polar
Baldur's
opposites.
Gate was that multiplayer either. It's a co-op
Yeah.
thing, or is it? Okay, that's cool.
No,
That's
I
cool. That
didn't
makes
know
sense.
either. I had no idea
Yeah.
either. When I saw that, I said, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's a oh
Huh,
really?" So
that makes sense. Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I guess it's because it's Dungeons and Dragons, so
yeah, yeah,
that
exactly.
makes sense.
Oh my god,
See,
that
we
does
need to
make
play
sense.
it.
Yeah,
We don't know anything about it.
we're just
We're like,
bad.
oh wow. So this is like a video game that people play. Crazy.
We're so lucky, like that. Our channel gets like an okay amount of people watching it because if we
Mhm.
were just way up there in the thousands and people were really into this game, they would hate us for not playing this and
Yeah.
not knowing what the hell
You
this
get
game was about.
canceled.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Um.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry for the people that are watching. So Baldur's Gate. So who's nominated for best multiplayer? Is Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario's Bros. Wonder. I'm gonna say, damn. I'm gonna go for
It's
Mario
kind of hard
Wonder
to.
only because
Yeah.
I would like to see it win, but I do kind of
Yeah.
want Diablo to get something out of this. So
It would.
either one.
It's kind of a toss up because everybody loves Baldur's Gate so much. You almost
Yeah.
kind of expected to just sort of sweep
Start
everything
sweeping.
it's nominated for.
Hmm.
Um. Um. You know. I know that Street Fighter 6 was kind of controversial for a little while, but then once it came out, people really liked it. You
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
my personal favorite on this list would be Mario Wonder. I think it's actually it didn't occur to me that it's a
It's a
multiplayer game, even
multiplayer
though
game.
it definitely is a multiplayer game. It's just a bit unconventional, you know.
Hmm.
It's it's kind of like a Strand game, you know, like Death Stranding. Uh, so yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I think the only one that would really surprise me is Party Animals because I don't know what that is.
I
I don't know.
you know what's funny is when I first saw the
The image
picture,
is
I
just
was
a
like,
cartoon alligator.
with glasses on and a
Looks like an
medallion.
NFT.
Yeah, it does look like an NFT. Party Animals. I thought it was when I first saw it. I thought it was what's that game kids are playing right now that you run around? They're like
Fall Guys?
Fall Guys. That's what I thought it was.
Or yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like,
I
why?
keep seeing footage of that game.
I could see that maybe winning it because of popularity. But Party Animals,
Yeah,
I've heard of the game, but I don't even know what the hell it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just nice to see a year where Fortnite's not nominated.
Oh my god,
I'm
thank
sure we'll
God.
see it in ongoing game if that's a category.
Yeah, it is.
God.
It is. So the next category is the one we cover on Sports Gamers Online, which is best sports slash racing category. I got to talk about this a little bit on the SGL Press Pass. It's just they suck at this freaking category. Like it
Mm,
has to be for some reason. It's always AAA sports games. They never dive into
yeah.
the soccer stories or the
Hmm.
roller drones or stuff
And
like that. You know, they never dabble
interesting
into
that out
that.
of it's 4 racing games and 1 soccer game.
Voltaire, look at my
That's kind
face.
of
4 racing games and 1 actual
yeah.
sport. Like,
Yeah, that's very interesting. You'd think might as well just make I guess because sports games often launch in such a poor state that
yeah,
maybe they're too controversial to have 5 or 6. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But you're right. They could go but that's just if they're only looking at EA and 2K and stuff like
mm-hmm,
that, you know.
yeah,
On this list, um I am a big fan of Forza, but I also really liked the Hot Wheels game. I got it because it was on PS Plus, so it was free, and I was like, I guess I'll check this out,
mm-hmm.
and I got like really into it. I like how I played the shit out of that game.
The funny thing is, dude, that's so funny you say that because I've yet to play it, but we did a review on it.
Hmm.
Kevin, who did the review on Sports Gamers Online, you guys should go check it out. Really loved it.
Hmm.
Everybody I've talked to about this game or this category is like, that's the game that's probably gonna win it. They
I,
love
I
that
I
game.
wouldn't be surprised if it won because
Yeah.
it's the game that really jumped out at me when I was
Mm-hmm.
like scrolling down because I haven't read all of the nominees. I only know the game of the year. and I'm like scrolling down, and I'm like, oh, Hot Wheels is nominated. Okay,
It
how
looks
about
good.
that? That's
Look,
cool.
it looks
Yeah,
so fun though. It looks
good
so
for
fun.
them. Yeah,
Ubisoft's The Crew Motorfest. I actually didn't get around to that. I'm not even really a fan of The Crew as a racing game, actually. And Forza Motorsport, it's not Horizon, so it's not super unique. It's just more of like, look at
that's
me,
true.
I'm
Yeah,
beautiful
I
and pretty.
yeah, I do agree with that. I think the main motorsport series is sort of the lesser of the series
Mm,
because Horizon is where it really shines.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, they get it in like really tropical settings and fun settings, and
Mm-hmm.
they do more with it. Funny enough, the game I actually think is gonna. I do think Hot Wheels is gonna win it, but the game I do want it to win because I enjoyed it a lot when I was playing it is the F123. I really like this game.
Okay.
It's if you're a simulation racing person and you're really serious about that type of stuff, this game has it
Mm-hmm.
all for you. You can get into the settings, you can make it as hard as you want, you can make it as easy as you want, and you can go through like the bottom division F1 all the way up to the main F1, and it's really fun, especially for a person that I don't watch the sport. I didn't even
Yeah.
know what the hell pole position meant. I
Yeah.
had no idea,
The
and
arcade game.
yeah.
Duh.
All I knew was Lewis Hamilton. I just want to be Lewis Hamilton. So, yeah, it's great. EAFC, no, it's not. No. All right.
It's funny to see that even nominated. I saw that and I was
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, so it's gonna be like Madden and stuff. But at least it wasn't. At least it
Right.
wasn't that.
It wasn't Madden. Yeah, I don't know why it's EAFC. It has to be
It's
popularity
interesting.
reasons because it's the most
Yeah.
popular sports game out there. Let's go to best sim and strategy. I think me and you didn't really. I I haven't played a great simulation game in about 2 or maybe even 3 years. The last simulation game I really got into was Crusader the Kings 3. And I really like that game, by the way. Um,
Yeah.
but you have Advance Wars 1+2. And I guess I'm guessing this is a remake of like a Nintendo
Uh,
game because how.
it's from Advance Wars is from the Game Boy Advance, and it's sort of like Fire Emblem, but with like tanks and sort of like World War II kind of uh,
Got you, got
stuff
you.
instead of like medieval stuff.
Got you. Okay. Cities, Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engaged, Pikmin 4. I never knew there was a new Fire Emblem game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I did not know there was a new Fire Emblem game. That kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. There's so many games came out this year that these like pretty big ones kind of fell under the
Yeah.
radar. It's kind
Yeah.
of funny.
Yeah.
Um, I really enjoy Pikmin 4.
I
I
just
like it quite a
voted for
bit.
Fire Emblem by accident.
I hope it wins by one vote.
I accidentally voted for
Oh
fucking Fire
no.
Emblem.
Voter
Oh.
fraud.
Yeah,
Oh
voter
man.
fraud. Oh God. I just did that.
That's so funny.
I hope it wins now.
Now, okay, so now we know your choice. Clearly, you're going for Fire Emblem Three Houses or not?
Three
No,
houses.
it's
That's what I thought it was when I saw the
yeah.
name. Engaged.
Yeah, Engage. Yeah, that's so weird. Yeah, Fire Emblem for the Nokia Engage, and then so I'm a big fan of Pikmin 4,
Mhm.
and so I would like for that to win. I haven't really played any of the other ones. My wife is a huge City Skylines fan, so she'd be excited that that's nominated. Um,
That's
it's
what's
funny that
up.
it
Yeah.
is because that's the kind of odd man out in the category because
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
rest of them are very clearly um, strategy, where
Mhm.
this is more of firmly in like the simulation kind of thing. I mean, I guess you could argue it's very strategic, but
Yeah. I'm.
it's not
You're talking
strategy
about
in the way the
Pikmin,
other
right?
ones are.
You're talking about Pikmin, right?
City Skylines,
Oh, City
because
Skylines. Yeah.
oh, and Pikmin, honestly, too,
Yeah.
because I think of Pikmin as a real time strategy game. It's just a very Nintendo way of doing it. You know what I mean?
Huh. I always thought
But
Pikmin was like an
I get you.
adventure.
Yeah, it's sort of that's true. I guess it does kind of stretch the meaning of it.
Yeah.
You know, then
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of Nintendo takes a genre and then they just kind of they twist it and they Nintendoify it.
Mhm. Right.
But
Right.
yeah, yeah. But you're right. I think that one is, I guess, would probably end up being the more surprising one. But I just meant that the rest of them are firmly, and then this is the only one that really fits like the simulation one, in my opinion, is City Skylines.
I actually I can't say it now because I accidentally freaking voted for Fire Emblem, but I do hope Pikmin wins. But apparently Fire Emblem Watch is gonna win, and watch like Jeff
It's gonna
Keighley's
win.
on
It's
there
gonna
for
win
like
by
1 vote, 1 vote,
one vote.
by 1 vote.
We can't believe it.
We
Yeah.
can't believe it. Fire Emblem again. I'm gonna be sitting there like, I'm gonna send
Oh
Nintendo.
no.
I'm gonna send Nintendo a letter. I'm gonna be like, it's kind of my fault.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That is so funny.
Best family game. You have Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Star Wars, holy hell, Kurt, Star Wars, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I think Super Mario Brothers is gonna win this, like by a landslide.
Yeah. I feel like it's got to, you know. The Disney game actually looks pretty good. I haven't played it yet. It looks like it's sort of reminiscent of like it's kind of trying to take after the Sega Genesis, you know, Castle of Illusion and stuff like that. Which, you know, that's cool. I really like. That's a really good game. If you haven't played that on back in the day, it's very good.
All the games on this list right here are actually very good.
Yeah, and again, I love Pikmin 4. You know, it's much more appropriate in this category. But yeah, I think Mario Wonder is the best game here, and it's kind of hard to argue against that. You know,
I think it's gonna win, but I haven't played Sonic Superstars yet, so I don't know just how good that is.
I'm just assuming it's the best game in the category.
Yeah. I'm just like maybe I'm assuming it's a good game, but Mario Wonder, it's nominated for Game of the Year, so at the end of the day, it's probably gonna take this category.
It's got a good chance.
Yeah. Definitely.
I haven't heard a lot about Sonic either which way. You know, I feel like people for the most part haven't really gotten around to playing it yet. You know,
I 100% agree. Not many people. When it dropped, there was like a few articles about it, and then it kind of just faded out. But I just like the art style. It just reminds me of like the 2D, 3D Sonic, where it's 2D, but it's also 3D. It just looks really good. So best fighting game, you have God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nintendo, Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery. I've never heard of that game. And Street Fighter 6. I think Mortal Kombat's going to take it. I know a lot of people that love that game.
I've been hearing so much about it. And plus it's Mortal Kombat. You know, Mortal Kombat is kind of like the Mario of fighting games. In that it's just everybody always likes it, you know.
Yeah.
I know there's some controversy with the monetization and stuff with it, and so maybe that might hold it back a little, but really all these fighting games probably have a controversy with monetization if you look into it, to be honest. They probably all do, so who knows. I don't know what Pocket Bravery is. Is that a mobile game? Maybe. And it's a little surprising to see the Nickelodeon Super Smash Brothers game on here, but I guess people it's kind of a meme, isn't it? You know? Yeah, they needed another one.
They just needed one more, and they're like, let's throw that one in. Let's jump over to a very difficult. I think it's a very difficult category. I know why. I know what game's gonna win this category, but I just like the lineup. I genuinely like the lineup. So it's best RPG. Voltaire. We know Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win this, but let's look at what it's
Final Fantasy. What is that? 16.
16.
Yeah, Lies of P. I almost said Life of Pi. Sea of Stars, and of course Starfield.
So Final Fantasy 16. People were saying that probably got snubbed for Game of the Year. Lies of P is a really good Dark Souls type Pinocchio game. Sea of Stars came out to perfect 10 out of 10 game reviews and ratings. Like everybody loves this game. And then of course Starfield is just a massive Bethesda game. So you have just a pretty big lineup here. So tell me why you think Starfield, it's going to be Baldur's Gate.
So I mean, Baldur's Gate, everybody's just talking about what a revolution it is. You know what I mean? I haven't. Sea of Stars is on my to play list, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
It looks good.
I'm just so Final Fantasy is so foreign to me that it's so difficult to jump into. It's like, you know what I mean? So I haven't played it yet. I did play a bit of Lies of P. It's, you know, I'm so bad at these types of games. You know what I mean? Like it's just they're so hard for me. Like I can play like Bloodborne and like the ones actually made by FromSoft, but then the other ones I don't know. There's something about it where I'm like,
And
I
plus,
don't
you
know
you
about
were the
this,
main
but
protagonist in Bloodborne.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
swear, if I
was. It
put
looks
the
just like
beard
me.
on your, if I put the
Mm,
beard on the base
yeah.
character, it looks just like you. I'm like,
I I took my helmet off at the end of the game, and I forgot that I had spent like a whole morning making like that day, like
yeah,
when I started the file. I mean, making my character look like me, and I just was dying laughing. Um, and Starfield is Starfield.
yeah,
I can't hate it. I can't full on hate it because I have had a lot of fun with it, but I'm like also haven't really played it in like maybe like a week or two because it just kind of got annoying and I wanted to take a break from it. So I just it's very indicative of a Bethesda game, and so I I I like it overall, but I don't think it really has a chance, to be honest.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Baldur's Gate is really the big man on camp this year,
hmm
and yeah, I would be shocked if anything other than it won.
Yeah, and I mean, it is kind of sad because it's like there's a clear winner here when all these games are good in their own right. They really are good in their
Yeah.
own right. I like this
Hmm.
category. I like what they picked here. This was a really strong lineup. I think literally if you download any of these games right now, they are loads of
Yeah.
fun. Loads of fun. Let's jump over to best action slash adventure game. Another pretty stacked lineup here. You have Alan Wake 2,
Oof. This
Marvel's
looks a lot like the Game of the Year nominations.
Very close. Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
these are all these are all home run games. Like I don't know much about Alan Wake. People
mhm,
really seem to like it, and that's obviously cool. I haven't gotten around to play Jedi Survivor, but it's definitely on my
it's
like
good.
probably like maybe the next one that I'll get because I really liked the first one. Um, um, I'm like it's not very good at Tears of the Kingdom, so but I can't hate again. I can't hate it. It's just I usually love Zelda games, but that one I'm not. I'm bad at it. But it's beautiful. It's a Zelda game. It's
It's
got
still a
beautiful
Zelda
music.
game. Yeah.
If it wins, I won't be mad. You know what I mean?
Uh,
I can't hate on anything that says Zelda on it. Resident Evil 4 and Spider-Man 2 though, beautiful masterpiece. Mwah,
masterpiece.
chef's kiss. They're so good. I was playing a bit of Resident Evil 4 earlier today actually, and it's I play it like such a coward. I was cracking up at myself. Like, I go into every new room and I'm like, you know what I mean? And like, there's like the guys with the shields marching towards me, and so I back up, and I
yeah.
backed up enough to where I was by the merchant, and
Yeah.
so the guys with the shield turned around, and then I just sniped him from the back while he was walking back to his position.
Du-
I'm like, oh yeah, real brave, Voltaire, real brave. What a valiant hero.
that oh my god. You're like me in Dead Space. It's just like that in Dead
Yes.
Space. Um
Well,
yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a toss up. Maybe I can see Spider-Man winning, and I can also see Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom winning. Star Wars
yeah,
Jedi Survivor, I don't think it's gonna win. I like the game a lot, and I played a good bit of it. Did the first impressions here on the channel for it, and it's really good. But I think it's gonna either be Spider-Man 2 or Tears of the Kingdom. I really won't even be
yeah,
surprised if Alan Wake sneaks in there either. Stacked lineup,
yeah.
just stacked.
It's gonna be interesting. Like it wasn't on my radar, Alan Wake,
Well,
until I've been seeing it get all these nominations, and now I'm like, maybe I should play it. I played
yeah,
like maybe like 2 or 3 hours of the first one, and it just I don't know. I was like, it's fine, it's whatever. You know what I mean? It just and so like when the second one came out, it just didn't, but apparently it's really good because it keeps getting all these nominations,
right.
especially if it starts actually winning some awards. Then I
Mm-hmm.
definitely am gonna have to check it out.
That's one thing we're gonna have to when we're watching it on December 7th is just kind of watch the momentum of games. What game is picking up what? Because
Mm-hmm.
if Mario Wonder starts kind of picking up all these these categories, it's like, whoa, maybe it could win Game of the Year. What's going on here? So
Yeah.
let's jump over to best action game. You have Armored Core. That's 4, right? So you have the Armored Core game. You have Dead
6.
Island 2, 6. Okay. Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and then Remnant 2. Remnant, I played the first one, didn't play the second one. Played the first one, and I really liked it. Hi-Fi Rush, of course, we're
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm a fan of it.
I
You
enjoyed it.
okay?
I
You
liked that.
enjoyed it.
I roasted it a bit in the first impressions. But yeah. I thought it
Definitely.
was fine. I think this is a bit of a funny category
Hmm.
because it seems a little
It's very
kind of
diverse.
like, yeah, I think it's a bit vague. I like, especially since the last category was action adventure. Like, I don't know where they. It's a little,
Oh,
you know what
I
I
get what
mean?
you're
So
saying. I get
it
what you're
just kind
saying.
of feels like they're picking, like they couldn't figure out exactly what to put in this category.
Yeah.
But that being said, I also don't really know too much about any of these games.
The funny thing
I've
is,
actually heard.
is
Sorry, go on.
the funny thing is like all these games could probably be action slash adventure also. Like
Right?
I would have thought Hi-Fi Rush
Yeah.
would have been an adventure game too.
I see, and that's kind of the where I'm at too. Like I guess if I was gonna say anything here, it would be Armored Core. It's a FromSoft game,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
the small handful of people I know who played it, sing its praises. You know, it seems like it's just a bit much for me, but I, I not being familiar with any of the other games in this category, besides Hi-Fi Rush, I still just think it's a FromSoft game. It's gonna
Yeah.
bulldoze the whole category.
Yeah.
I've kind of heard that Dead Island 2 isn't that good, so I'm a little surprised to see it here.
Mm-hmm. My roommate at the time was playing it, and I kind of watched him play it, and he's a guy
Yeah.
that can really get addicted to like a certain game if it's really good.
Hmm.
And I would ask him like, "Are you playing Dead Island today?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it must not be that good."
It's just yeah, it just I've heard kind of middling reviews like that where people are
Mm.
like, yeah, it's just not that interesting. So that it was that kind of made me think like, huh, And Hi-Fi Rush, like, not to hate on it, but it is a smaller game, and it's the type of game that usually tends to not get the nominations, even if it is really, even when
Yeah.
it is something that's
Yeah.
like, really monumental. And so,
I
it's
genuinely
nice to see it getting some
appreciate.
nods. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just a funny category to me.
Yeah. I do appreciate Hi-Fi Rush the way it came out. It's
Hmm.
only exclusive to Xbox. Everything the game has accomplished to this point.
Yeah.
It's just been really
I,
good for it.
that's that style of game is
Hmm.
very cool, and I think that they my only note for Hi-Fi Rush should be diversify the genres of music,
Yeah,
but
and
that
I agree.
style of game is great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Best VR AR game. I don't play
I have
VR.
no idea. Yeah, all of these games would probably make me vomit profusely.
I think Resident Evil Village will get V for VR mode. Yeah, Resident Evil Village VR mode. I think that'll end up winning. I'm not gonna say
Hmm.
why, but we are
No.
gamers. That's all I'm gonna say.
It didn't even like. I was like, oh, but Resident Gran Turismo, I could play VR racing games without getting sick. And I was like, oh, because it's a big lady. And okay, yeah, no, I
Cause
remember
the big
now.
yep. Can we just
Yeah,
skip? We're gonna skip best mobile game. I'm
yeah.
just not in the mood to talk about mobile games. Best indie day. We can skip this too. I'm not saying these games here, Cocoon and all these other
Best
games.
mobile game, false. There's no good mobile game.
Yeah, yeah. There's no good mobile games. Best
Yeah.
debut indie game. I didn't play any of these games.
Yeah, the only one out of these that I've heard of, I heard about Viewfinder, but not much. But I've heard a bunch about Dredge. It's apparently it does like a horror in a very unique
mm,
way, and
I heard of
I
that
haven't
actually.
played it, but I've heard about it,
Yeah,
which makes me think that it has a good chance of winning
yeah.
because it's just kind of word of mouth. You know what I mean?
Mm.
YouTubers are doing videos about it, which makes me think it has a strong chance of
It's a
winning.
good chance. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go for that because I didn't play any of these games actually. I need to
Yeah,
get
I'm
I need
not.
to step my indie game up, man. I need to do
Yeah,
that.
it's true. Yeah.
Best independent game. See, oh no, that was for indie debut. Never mind. I think Sea of Stars
It's
is
like,
gonna
wait
take
a
it.
minute.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. No. Okay, best indie game, independent game. It's I think it's gonna be Sea of Stars. So you have Cocoon, Dave the Diver.
Hmm.
How you say that game again? Dirge?
Is it Dredge?
Dredged. Okay,
Dredge?
Dredge.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. And Viewfinder and Sea of Stars. I
Hmm.
think Sea of Stars is gonna take it. I think
Yeah,
Sea of
I
Stars
keep
is really
again.
hype.
I've heard a lot of good about it. You know, actually, for whatever reason, I didn't realize it was out. I was reading the description of it on Xbox, and I
Yeah.
guess I missed the release date on it. But yeah, it does look really interesting. It's on
Mm,
my like list of games to check out.
true. Very true. The next one, I think this is gonna be very interesting, Voltaire, because it's the best community support. I think all the communities that are attached to these games are big, and a lot of them do deserve their plaudits. So you have Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 15, and No Man's Sky. So
14.
14. Is that 14? I'm bad at this.
Yeah,
I'm bad at that.
it's all good. It's all
He's
good.
like, oh, wait, Kurt, nope, that's not it. No, 15. 15 was the one they were all in the car and they were driving
Yeah.
around. My bad. Okay, yeah, 14, which is, I mean, I have a friend that still plays this game to this day, and it's been
Mhm.
out for so long. I've tried to get into it twice. No, I'm not in it. No Man's Sky,
MMOs are just too much for me, but
it is,
I appreciate them
yeah,
as a genre. I think it's really cool that they exist. I've always gotten it. It's just overwhelming.
yeah,
It's too much.
exactly. No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
These both, and I'm part of the Cyberpunk 2077 one. These sets of fans have waited for these games to get good, and they've
Mhm.
suggested, and the companies have listened. I can see even Cyberpunk kind of winning it, but at the same time,
Do we want to reward that behavior
exactly,
though?
exactly.
I don't
That's what I
know.
was going
That's
to.
when I saw these, I was like, that's kind of why I was making that face because I see No
Mhm.
Man's Sky and I see Cyberpunk and I see Destiny 2, and it's like I liked No Man's Sky a lot,
Mhm.
and I thought Destiny 2 was pretty good. I
Mhm.
haven't played Cyberpunk, but I mean, these games came out, especially Destiny 2, a long time ago, and it
Yeah.
took them quite a while before the fans started being like, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, this is good." And I don't know, man. I feel like we shouldn't reward that.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14, I believe that's the one where they completely like unreleased the game and then just made it again, and that's a little bit better, but still not great.
Yeah.
So again, Baldur's Gate 3.
I
I don't
think
know what
that's
they
gonna
even
win
mean
it.
by community support in
Yeah.
this context, but I guess what they mean is they just released a good game and that's it, and then they didn't put microtransactions in it or
Nah,
whatever.
I think they
I
mean
guess that's
like
what they mean.
um the game was in early access. So when they say
Hmm.
community support, I'm thinking they're thinking like when the fans had to give feedback and
Okay.
coming together and
Hmm.
trying to make the game good before it actually came out for launch. Um
Novel
that's what it
idea.
means. Oh, fantastic. A lot of freaking developers probably should do that. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to
Crazy,
win
right?
it. I think Baldur's Gate
Making
3
a
is going to
game
win it.
good, making a game good, and then coming out with it.
And
Crazy.
I mean,
Crazy.
call us nuts.
Whoa.
Best
So I
ongoing
hope
game.
that they win that.
Yeah, best ongoing game, and there you
No.
go. Fortnite is right there.
I knew it.
Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final
It
Fantasy
wins
14,
every year, doesn't it?
Fortnite. Uh, does it?
I feel like it always. I feel like it always wins.
It. I think. I feel like it. I feel like it does too. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
gonna. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I want Cyberpunk to win something, so I hope it's
You know,
Cyberpunk. Only because
you
I
know,
stuck around for so long and it's so good
yeah.
now.
I could see ongoing game being a category. I think again, it's shaky grounds because you don't want to support that. The sort of like, okay, well, we'll fix it later and stuff.
Hmm.
But you do kind of want to be like, hey, the like, you know, I think the like ground level employees actually programming the game did
Yeah,
put in a lot of work,
you did
and
your
it's not
thing.
their fault. The higher ups made them come out with it before it was finished and
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
it's kind of a tightrope to have to walk. That being
I
said,
really hope this was the only time CDPR really messed it up because they are making that new Witcher 4 game. So
yeah,
I hope,
and
yeah.
they're remastering like the first one, I think, and
Oh,
yeah,
really? Oh,
I think they are. Maybe someone else is, but I think they are.
that would be
But
sweet.
yeah. All that being said, I think Fortnite's gonna win.
I can't wait to see what comes out on that category.
It is. Fortnite is like baffling to me. I remember we played it when it first came out, and it was fairly simple, and no one was really that good at like the building, and so
Hmm.
it was all kind of a mess, and it was just everybody just kind of messing around, and it was fun and simple. And then you fast forward a few months, and everybody's Keanu Reeves,
Hmm.
and they're building the Burj Khalifa in 30 seconds. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just like this is too, you know. And now, however many years later, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I see footage of stuff, and I'm like, this is the crazy. This is the most like, uh, you know, synth like a sensory overload thing I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life, and it's
yeah.
like, oh yeah, this is Fortnite footage. You got like a 100-foot tall,
Yeah.
Selena Gomez stomping around, and Homer Simpson shooting Thanos, and it's like,
It's like, what
what
is
am I looking at?
my roommates are currently literally in the other room playing Fortnite right now.
I mean, it's impressive. It's technically,
Oh my god, there's so much
it's
things.
like
They're riding
it's a technical
hoverboards and
marvel.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nuts.
it's crazy that it exists.
Yeah,
So I mean, like,
it's nuts.
it's probably the most technologically advanced game.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like it, but it
It
surely
is,
is,
and
right?
you could play it on
It's the
anything, anything.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild that it exists. So I would
It
not
is
be
a
shocked if
powerhouse. Yeah.
it continues to win
Mm-hmm.
like it always does.
No, one
It's
hundred
just very
percent.
funny to me.
100%. Moving over to games for impact. This is kind of a newer category they've been implementing. Um, Definitely, it's like basically a game that it is in touch with society, or a game that just kind of does good for people.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. Huh.
Yeah. Goodbye Volcano High. This is the only game that I know about. It's about like
Okay.
it's a funny premise. It's basically about like a volcano is coming towards um Earth, as like, like in real life when it happened, and
Mhm.
these dinosaurs are going to high school, and they basically have to find love, like within like 9 days or something. It's something
Oh,
like that, but
interesting.
like it's a good game because it kind of involves everybody. If you're a
Mhm.
homosexual, um straight, transgender, like all the they kind of bring everybody in. Like they have like a character that represents
That's
all those
good.
type of different types of people. Yeah, it's great. So I can see why this
That's
game
cool.
got nominated.
Yeah.
If it's gonna win, I haven't seen gameplay. I want to say
Yeah.
it's kind of Life of Strangey, kind of like that
Okay.
game, I think, but I'm not too sure. So maybe that
I
might
feel
win,
like
maybe not.
this category might lend towards more games that are sort of like Life is Strangey. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because that
Yeah,
game
it
definitely
would.
had its own social messaging and stuff. And I think this is cool. I don't really have a lot to say because I'm not familiar with these games.
Mm.
But I like the concept of this category, and it does make me want to at least check these games out and see what they're about. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I
totally,
think
totally.
that's with not to get all political, woke
Yeah.
moralist or whatever, but there is a lot of toxicity and whatnot in the in the game community and just in life in general, and it's nice when people can use art to sort of speak up for people and be
Yeah.
like, hey, let's not be a dick, you know?
100%, because video games are for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's
Going
nice
on
to
to the
remember that sometimes.
yeah, for real. Going into the next category, which kind of does the same thing, innovation in
Yeah,
accessibility.
it's similar theme.
Yeah, similar theme. I think PlayStation does this particular thing
So
so
well.
well. If you look at what God of
So
War
well.
did last year, I think Spider-Man might end up
They
winning it.
God of War won last year, right?
Yeah, I think God of War won it
But
last
yeah.
year. Mm-hmm.
And I remember playtesting that game and specifically telling them like the accessibility issues are incredible here.
Yeah.
Like, cause I like to have subtitles on, you know what I mean? And when I went to turn the subtitles on, I just noticed all the accessibility stuff, and I just kind of messed with it, just kind of see how it affected the gameplay and everything, and it's cool. They have like the visually impaired stuff and the colorblind things and the stuff that highlights enemies in different colors. And
Yeah.
Spider-Man has all of that too. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed it has the same accessibility or like suite or whatever you would call it that God of War has, where it's like, it's really helpful because it's like you can make it to where when the subtitles come on, they're like the person's name is a different color than what they're saying and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and it's just, you know, uh, I'm not really like hearing impaired or anything, but subtitles help me like pay attention to like
Yeah.
what the conversation is and not forget what someone just said, and so yeah, I, it's another thing that I like that is being rewarded in games.
Yeah. 100%.
I think it's just like earlier I said you shouldn't reward, kind of shisty behavior. You should reward this sort of innovation
Mm-hmm.
because I think, it goes a long way. And
Yeah, and
one
like
thing
you're
I did
saying,
notice in Hi-Fi Rush is it had good options and stuff too. Um,
really, I guess I
I
didn't
just
see
think
that.
I just think I'm not gonna be able to think of it specifically, but I do
Mm-hmm.
remember making like a mental note of that. But yeah, I hope Spider-Man wins because I do appreciate the you know
It's almost like
if you,
any game wins in this category. That's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but of course I don't have any accessibility issues playing for video games. But even if a game needed to just take a little bit of time for this,
Hmm.
I'm so okay with that because this is such a great thing in video games that we didn't have the
Yeah,
whole time,
it
throughout the
goes back to
30,
what we
40
were.
years of gaming.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yeah, it goes back to what we were saying earlier of like, they're video games for everybody, or they should be.
mm-hmm. Always, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man or maybe even Hi-Fi Rush. I know Forza. I think Forza Horizon had some really good accessibility options a
Hmm.
couple years ago. So maybe one of those three games. Any game in this category,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Going over to best performance. I don't think I've seen everybody's performance in here. So it's Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16, Cameron from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba in Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom
I
Liberty.
had no idea he was in that.
Yeah, he's one of the main guys in there. Melanie, I don't want to mess up last name, so I'm gonna say just Melanie Alan Wake 2, uh, Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3, and then Yuri. I'm not gonna even try his name. I think is that Spider-Man himself?
That's
Does
what
he
I was
play
wondering. I think
Spider-Man?
maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, it seems like it is.
okay. I feel like it's gonna be somebody from Alan Wake 2. I feel
Yeah,
like yeah.
it's got to be. I mean, because there's like live action cutscenes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they were ballsy enough to do a live action like full motion video game in 2023, and then the fact that it's being nominated for like acting and stuff makes me think they must have really knocked it out of the park.
Killed it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you're nominated next to freaking Idris Elba.
And that is
That's
kind of cool.
crazy.
That is kind. I didn't think of it
Yeah.
like that. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
I love Cameron Monaghan. I haven't played it, like I said, Jedi Survivor, but
Yeah,
he's
he's
incredible in the
good.
first one. And they film those full motion capture, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like not. I mean, not to say just voice acting, but he's doing more than voice acting. Like he's really out there with the motion capture suit,
Mm-hmm.
And Spider Man has some fantastic voice acting all around. I would kind of almost say they should have nominated the guy that plays Miles, but
Yeah, they
anyone from
really
that
should
cast
have.
getting nominated is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like but that's just me.
I think that yeah, completely agree with you. Cameron did a wonderful job in the second game, and then yeah, Yuri did a fantastic job with Spider-Man. I guess
Hmm.
I don't really know who's gonna win it, but ultimately, I guess we're just gonna have to see. Um, the next one,
Video game acting has gotten
so good,
great.
so
It's
good,
gotten very good. Yeah.
so good, so
Sony games, I keep saying, are better movies than Sony movies.
good. Very true. Uh, best audio design. I think this. So it's Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4. I actually think
This I think might go to Hi-Fi Rush, honestly.
either Hi-Fi
Um,
Rush or Dead Space. The
yeah.
Dead Space remake really worked on those different layers
Hmm.
of audio. Um,
Yeah, the Dead Space,
yeah.
because yeah, especially if you're playing it in headphones, it's intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's really well done.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say Hi-Fi Rush is because it's very clever
Everything's
the way
making
that it
noise too
and
in the
everything
game.
is based around the sound, and it really is in rhythm. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? If you play it like you would play, Dance Dance Revolution or whatever, then you'll
Yeah.
do much better. And I think that's something you don't see very often. Like like or ever, honestly. Like it almost was like a Parappa the Rapper or something. You know what I mean? Like it was a real throwback.
It was, yeah, it's
And
very
so I
true.
could, if there was an award that I kind of want to go to Hi-Fi Rush, it would probably be this one because I like that sort of out of the box thinking.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you because Hi-Fi Rush is like you said, everything kind of moves to the beat of that, and I feel like they almost have to kind of give it to Hi-Fi Rush because they work so hard on the score and the music and everything, or the audio design, not the score and the music.
Yeah, it's like all kind of centered around that. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Exactly. It's all centered around that gameplay and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna say Dead Space. I think Dead Space is gonna get it. Even though I just said Hi-Fi Rush is gonna end up getting
Yeah.
it, but like I think Hi-Fi Rush might get it, but I hope Dead Space gets it. I'll say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at Dead Space winning any awards. That game's
Great game.
very good. Yeah.
Next one, best score and music. So score and music. I mean, definitely that's a different thing compared to audio
Mm-hmm.
design. Um,
Mm-hmm.
mm, I
I mean, Zelda, honestly.
Zelda's always has great music, doesn't it?
Koji Kondo.
Always.
Koji Kondo. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the best. I
We'll
don't
we'll
know.
go
I'm
for that.
biased in this situ. I'm absolutely biased in this
Yeah.
category.
We'll go for that.
But yeah, yeah.
Bet
I'm sorry.
best art direction. So you have Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Liza P just looks like Bloodborne to me.
It does. Yeah, yeah. That was another thing that I thought maybe was hard for me to kind of get hooked in with it because it was
Mm.
definitely trying to be Bloodborne. You know what I mean? Um, with like Pinocchio and I don't know. I kind of like the kind of wind up doll sort of
Yeah.
aesthetic and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Every time they said like Geppetto, I just started cracking up. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but
I think Hi-Fi Rush could walk away with that because I think the art
it
direction is
could.
really cool.
It's got a great kind of art design. I think Mario has a good chance.
That could.
It's the first time in a long time that they've like really changed up the graphics for
Mm.
Mario. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And it's obviously, I mean, he's still wearing the same outfit and stuff, but it's like it when you're playing the game, it's definitely it looks different. It's the what they do with the sort of like wonder flowers and like how they some of those levels are like acid trips, and it's just it's really cool. You can tell they were having a lot of fun with it. So I sort of hope Mario wins this one.
Mm.
But yeah, any of these games have all these games have really unique, cool art style. I could see Alan Wake winning it because just the screenshots and stuff that I've seen, it seems to be like a pretty cool mixture of different styles,
Mm.
which I always appreciate. Spider-Man does that really well. The only one that sort of would surprise me is Lies of P. I'm not trying to hate on that game. I really am
No,
not.
no,
I
I
don't want to
got it.
sound like I'm
No, no,
being
no, I
negative,
got it.
but
Cause
I just feel like it's not unique enough to like really win over the rest of these games. Because like I got the same impression you did that they're trying to do Bloodborne.
mhm.
They're trying to do Bloodborne on Xbox.
Yeah, and I that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh my goodness, this game looks just like Bloodborne, and I love Bloodborne. It's one of my favorite PlayStation 4 exclusives out there. I
Hmm.
think Legend of Zelda, of course, Legend of Zelda is great. Tears of the
It's
Kingdom
a
is
beautiful
great,
game.
beautiful game. Really good art direction. The acid trip thing that you were talking about with Super Mario Bros.
Hmm.
Wonder, I've seen a level of that, and that is really cool. That really does make the game
Yeah,
very unique.
it's
Um,
so creative and it's like a genuine. I almost said a genuine sense of wonder without even
mm,
considering
like
the irony.
Wonder, yeah,
But it
yeah.
is. But it really is.
uh Hi-Fi Rush had that like Saturday mornings cartoon look, like comic
It
booky a
did.
little
Yeah.
bit. It
Everyone
looked
kind
really
of
dope.
doing this. Like it like I think I even said it in the I may have even said this in my first impressions video that it feels sort of kind of like a Dreamcast throwback,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah. Could definitely see
And
that.
I mean
Yeah.
that as a compliment. Yeah.
Yeah. Alan Wake probably has some spooky, weird moments in it, like that just really shows off the graphics and the art direction. So
Mhm.
I could see a lot of games getting it. Besides Liza P, I don't think Liza P is gonna get it. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Hi-Fi Rush just to kind of throw it out there, but I feel like uh
It's hard to
maybe
say.
it is
They all
so
have strong
hard.
cases. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Hi-Fi Rush. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Um, best narrative. So for outstanding storytelling and
Interesting.
narrative development in a game. So
Storytelling.
man, you have
So
Alan
the
Wake,
only game
Baldur's
I've played
Gate
here is Spider-Man. Sorry, yeah, you have Alan Wake,
2,
Baldur's Gate,
Baldur's Gate 3,
mm,
Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel
16,
Spider-Man
and
2.
Spider-Man. I, I'm the only one I've played here is Spider-Man. The story is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Sony, I mean, you know, I like. I think that the people who say that their games are basically like movies with occasional gameplay is like a little harsh. You
It
know what
is
I mean?
really harsh.
Like they 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 really nailed the storyline. And for me, storyline isn't enough by itself to get like to make me like a video game, but it does the storyline adds so much to the game that
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm really compelled to go like see what happens next and stuff. And um so
I agree
but
with you,
like
Voltaire. But
I think Baldur's Gate.
yeah, I was about to say, how good is Baldur's Gate though?
All of that, yeah. All of that being said, from what I hear about Baldur's Gate, I wouldn't be surprised if it won.
Yeah.
Although I do think that this is one category where Spider-Man does have a good chance
Totally.
to pull one off. Yeah.
This is one of the first categories where you start to notice if a game that is nominated for Game of the Year also wins this
hmm
category, it's probably gonna end up being Game of the Year. This is one of those categories. That's why I'm like,
It's one of those big ones. Yeah.
Alan Wake 2's in there.
It's nominated for almost everything. It's crazy
Yeah,
how much
it's
it keeps
like,
being popped up.
oh my goodness, it is in there. I'm like, God, how good is this game? Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Actually haven't really played the DLC yet. I've only played the update 2.0. I'm gonna get around to the DLC,
hmm
but Cyberpunk does have a good story. People really try to say it isn't because of how bad the game shipped, but it does have a pretty
hmm
good story. I completely agree with you in terms of Spider-Man. If
Yeah.
it won this category, I'd be like, yeah, it is
Yeah.
so good. And it's always how they leave you off on that cliffhanger and like what's coming next. It's like, oh my goodness, it's so good. And the voice acting is so good. The writing is so good.
hmm
And the character progression is phenomenal. So I guess we
And
just gotta
I'm
see.
a sucker for a good Spider-Man story, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Mm-hmm. Best game direction. Awarded
This
for
is
outstanding creative
the
vision.
exact
I think so.
nominees as Game of the Year.
Oh my
I think
god.
it's the same exact
Oh my
games.
god. It is the same exact games. Yeah. I was like, nah, it's wait. Yep. Yep.
It
This is
totally
that.
is.
Creative
That's
vision,
wild.
innovative in game direction and design. I think Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will win this because everything in that sentence Tears of the Kingdom does well.
I think it will. I think when people talk about it, what they talk about is the building and the physics mechanics and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. I think this is probably where it has the strongest case of winning.
Yeah.
This and the music.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I definitely think it's what's his name, Onuma.
Mm-hmm.
He just he's very highly regarded right now, and I just yeah, I definitely again we haven't played Baldur's Gate or Alan Wake, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe those are just crazy masterpieces, but it seems like they're very good because they keep popping up. Uh, but
Um,
yeah,
I took a
again
peek.
now,
I took a peek. There is
mhm,
one game missing from this list to
because
be
there's
Game of the
6
Year.
Game of the Year
Yeah,
nominees.
there is a game missing,
Yeah,
and you know that game,
yeah, yeah.
Resident Evil 4. That's missing.
That's right. I was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah,
Yeah.
what's it called? Which I'm surprised. Kind of funny to see Mario on here over that, which makes me think it might pull out a surprise victory here. Because it definitely goes off in some interesting game direction. You
if if
know what I mean?
Mario Wonder wins Game of the Year, I'm probably gonna buy it that night for sure. Start playing it that night
Yeah.
if I haven't played it.
And then there we go, Game of the Year.
Yep,
The same exact games again, but also
Resident
Resident Evil
Evil.
4.
And we talked about this. Did we talk about it on the last video we
Last
did?
the
Yeah,
last podcast? No, we did it like a video on
we
it.
did
We
like
did like a
a small
proper
video.
YouTube video.
We said
Yeah, yeah.
I did say I do want Tears of the Kingdom to win, but no, I think Tears of the Kingdom is gonna win, but I want Baldur's
Yes.
Gate 3 to win.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
said,
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at any of these games winning.
mm-hmm,
The only one I don't really know about is Alan Wake. Like we've been saying, I know somewhat about Baldur's Gate because I've just been people have been telling me about it and
yeah.
everything. But yeah,
If Alan
I
Wake 2 won, I mean, we still wouldn't be. We'd probably like, shit, it's probably that good.
yeah, it's surprising. Yeah, it's like one of those like, whoa, how did I not know about this game? It's being nominated for everything. It's crazy,
True,
you know.
true.
But yeah, Resident Evil, Spider-Man, Mario, I love them all. Like, Tears of the Kingdom, not
Yeah.
exactly my for me, but it's still a masterpiece for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So none of these games would surprise me. I would love to see the Mario game win. I think it'd be great to see a 2D
Totally.
platformer beat out all of these,
Mm-hmm.
high concept, high budget, like 3D open world kind of games. Or not all of them are open world, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be mad at any of these winning, honestly. I love Spider Man. Um, Resident Evil 4, the OG back on the GameCube, is one of my favorite games of all time, and the fact that they nailed this remake is really like impressive
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. And I remember watching and just like editing the video, and I'm like, yo, this looks insane. But they've had this amazing run of Resident Evil games over the last couple of years. I don't think they're doing one
They
next year.
have.
That'll be the first time in like 3 years they haven't done a Resident Evil remake.
Yeah, you don't think they're gonna do a 5 and 6 remake?
I saw something. I saw an article from my ex managing editor. He was talking about how Capcom was thinking about taking a break from it just next year. So there most likely might not be one, but I could see 5 and 6
Yeah.
coming out at some point.
It'd be interesting to see the direction they go in if they do that, because people hated those games, from what I understand.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of hate for
People
5.
really did not like those games. I remember my friends being into one of them had like a multiplayer, like deathmatch mode.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which one that my friends were into for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what direction they go in.
Yeah,
Trying to like maybe take them back more in a horror direction, but just using like generally the same plot and characters or something.
I can totally see that. Heck yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you said, any of these games winning. Of course, I do want Baldur's Gate 3 to win, just for the fact of there's developers that didn't like the fact that this game was doing so well for multiple reasons, and the way it came out, it's exactly how game development should go.
You always there's like statements from developers that seem kind of bitter because they're getting called out for doing microtransactions and all this sort of like scummy stuff, even in like single player games and everything. And it's like, well, we had to, but it's like, you clearly don't, because here's Baldur's Gate. They're just coming out with a game like how we used to do.
How we used
made
to
a video game and came out with it all the way, and it's great and everybody loves it. And so, it's, if it does kind of win, especially game of the year, but especially if it sweeps, but even if it doesn't, if it doesn't and it still wins game of the year, yeah, it'll be one of those things where it'll be kind of a turning point where games will have to be more like it, or else they'll get even more criticized.
Completely agree.
Because there's,
well,
people complain about Diablo because they threw in a bunch of microtransactions, and people complain about Starfield because it's incomplete when it came out.
Yeah.
Just
100%. Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna find out all of those. I didn't realize how long we've been podcasting. I looked at the time and said, "Oh my god, whoa!"
Oh dang!
Yeah, that's a lot of time. I think we've been doing this for like an hour and 30 minutes. It had to have been.
Hey, wow!
It's definitely. And I did a long podcast.
We had a lot
yesterday.
To say.
Yes, a lot to say. Well, no. So the Game Awards are gonna be aired, I guess, on YouTube or something else. Yeah, I believe it's on YouTube and on their website on December 7th. Make sure you guys check that out. And we're going to see who wins Game of the Year. My name is Curtis. You can follow me on Twitter, X, whatever it's called, Callie from the Dojo. And you can follow Voltaire on Instagram. Go ahead and give me your Instagram, man.
It's Voltaire Slapadelic on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube by typing in @Slapadelic Music. Yeah, just follow me on there. I'm always working on music and just, doing all sorts of stuff like that.
All the vibes.
All
Also,
of it. Yeah.
I've recently started a brand new football podcast called Cul-de-sac Football, which I am starting, where it's already 2 episodes are out. We did the pilot episode, and then we did the first episode yesterday, and it's out right now on Spotify and Apple Podcast. I do it with my lifetime friend Keenan Brown. It's great. It's really good. Go ahead and check that out. But other than that, make sure you guys subscribe to the Soul Dojo